Hey everybody, welcome to the channel here. Today we're going to go over how I make this wooden distressed burn flag that I sell on my website and other platforms. There are tons of videos out there. Take it from me, I did my research when I first started making these, and everyone does them different. There's no right way, there's no wrong way. Take some from some, add a little bit of yourself to it. Like I use vinyl decals for my union field right here. That also allows me to add different union field designs, like say a Marine Corps emblem, or maybe a 3%er symbol, something like that. Other people hand carve them with a Dremel, and I have started doing that. I haven't offered it yet until I get my technique down, and I'm hoping to graduate to a CNC hopefully sometime soon and just let the computer do the carving for me. But I use vinyl right now since I'm in the vinyl business, and it makes it really easy. And you can see down here I've already started cutting the pieces up. It's really easy to do with you're just basically using 1x2, and I probably mentioned this in the video later. I use a pre-laminated board. You can see, if you, well, you probably can't see, but there's lines here. This was a 1x2 that was pre-laminated project board. You can get it at Lowe's, and I cut it to the size I need. It makes for a cleaner looking union area to me. You don't really see all the lines from the other 1x2s. But that's just something I do. Brings the cost up a little bit. Others just take 1x2s and cut, what is it, 13 stripe pieces are going all the way across, and it's really easy to do that way. I cut the lower ones all the way across, and then I cut upper stripes, which you'll see in the video. So the one we're going to be making the video is actually a blue line edition, where we use black for all the color spaces you see here, and then we do a blue line for law enforcement support. I also do one with a red line, and so you'll see that, but the technique is exactly the same. You're just changing colors. So why don't we go ahead and start watching the clips. And to save money, instead of using 1x2s at Lowe's, I get 1x4s, and I first remove one of the round edges here, and then in the next clip you'll see me, I'll set it to 1.5 and cut them down to 1.5 inch wide boards. Now I got all those cut with a square edge. I'm gonna blow off this. Now I'm gonna go ahead and move my fence to get 1.5 inch strips out of this. Yeah. What is blocking this? Still haven't screwed the table saw down to the bench there. Let's do it this way. Let's see if this way works. No. I want it to the this side of the kerf. Yeah, where's the knob? The dial is actually pretty accurate there, but I'm going to run a test piece through just in case. Let me grab a scrap piece of wood, because if it's off a little bit, all the pieces won't match up. I'll just use this. Sorry for the noise you're about to hear, but it'll be quick. I'm going to turn on the vacuum. And that's good. Just double check, you know, like double measure, measure twice, cut once. Unlike Home Depot, measure wrong, cut it anyway. So now I'm going to go ahead, I'm not going to use all these stripes, this is probably for 2 or 3 flags here, but while I'm ripping, let's get it all ripped down. Gotta get in the habit of wearing this thing. Now that we got all our pieces ripped down to 1.5 inch width, I'm using the miter saw here to cut down 6 pieces at 36 inches, and then I'll do 7 at, I believe, at 21 3/4 to make up the stripes of the flag. Alright, we got all our pieces cut, and what I'm doing now basically is I put a side piece here. What's going on here? Stickers. I'm gonna grab another piece. This is what I'm doing, is kind of a dry fitting everything, laying everything out, looking for good pieces. Like that. We got the 7 stripes here, a few gaps right here. Not a big deal, gives it that rustic feel. And I got a strip down here. So when I clamp, I'll be clamping this way. So I got a strip here, and I'm going to get another strip to put here for clamping. A lot of these gaps here in between boards will go away when we clamp it to the other and glue it. And I do glue mine. Some people don't glue them. And I'm doing this, making sure over here they're all even. Make sure I'll push it in. And I don't try to get them super flush here. Again, rustic feel. But I don't want one sticking out 1/4 inch. That looks good there. And if one's over, I can take it back, cut it down, trim it. This one's got some writing on it that I would have to sand out. So let's check the other side. The other side looks actually a little bit more interesting for grains. Well, this side is mainly straight. There's some curves here, but this side's got curves in it. So I think I'm gonna go with that side. That side's got a little print there. And yeah, I kind of like the other side anyway. So we'll go like that and push everything back together. All right, so I got that set. I'm gonna put these away. The next stage is the burning stage, and what I do, rip paper. I got a brick paver that's actually kind of slanted, and I use that for holding the piece. So I'm going to put cat out of the way there, push this up, and we're going to be burning every piece, both sides. It's easier. I burn the back just because it looks nicer when done that way. And it's easier to burn the back now than later. Just double checking things again. I might want to move things around. So anyway, all we use is simple propane tank and nozzle. You can get these at Home Depot, Lowe's. This is like the self-starters with ignitions in it is like, I want to say 15 to 20 bucks. You can get a kit, starter kit that comes with one tank and this nozzle for like, I think 25, 30. So, and I just go, you gotta open it all the way, ignite it. And I go slow, but always keep moving. If you stop, you're gonna leave a nice burn mark, but I always try to get the ends a little more burned here. And I look for the grain and go with the grain. Look for the curvy grain. And unlike some that burn the whole piece, I'm just trying to get here and there. I want some white still to show through. And I'll just flip it over. And I generally don't do the ends, but you can do the ends if you want. I'm actually liking this side better than the other side. So that's it. This is the back side. This is the actually I'm okay with the front side. It looks really good. And then I'll probably end up using that for a white stripe rather than a red. And the bottom one is red, so I'll be moving that up. And that's also the next thing I'll do is once I get them all burned, I may rearrange them. Some burns I like better as a white stripe if I got more white spots in it than a dark or a red stripe or black stripe. So I'm going to do the rest off camera. You don't need to see me, even in fast mode, I don't think you need to see me burn all these. So we'll get these all burned up and then we'll move on. After gluing all the edges together and clamping it, I am now putting bracer boards and using brad nails to secure. Hey! So the glue and clamps dried overnight. Took clamps off, flipped it over, blew it off with air and making sure all the dust particles are off. Should have pushed in there a little more. So the next step we're going to be doing is applying this urethane on. I work on the front and edges first. Putting on, it'll be a total of 4 coats when all said and done. So we need expression. What I'm going to do is I do a coat and then I let it dry for at least 3 hours, if not longer. And then I'll do another coat, let it dry. And by that time this is well sealed. Then I'll put the decal on for the union. Whatever union they decided on. This one's just going to be the stars, 50 star field. And I'll let that bond for an hour or so. Hopefully it warms up. When I do that stage, it applies and sticks better warm. If it's too cold, you can hit it with a hair dryer, or I have an embossing dryer tool. You can hit it, make sure it bonds well to the, well, at that point it's your thing. And after that hour or so, then I'll do my 2 more coats on top of that. And when that's dry, flip it over, and I only do 1 coat on the back. So let's go ahead and get this 1 coat done. You can watch. Shouldn't take too long. Again, I use a foam brush, soak it well. And just wipe on. I dab the edges, dab then wipe. And I always go in one direction. I mean, I can go back and forth, but I'm always going with the grain. Because I don't want to, it would very rarely would happen, and it's one reason I don't use a brush. I like the sponge better so it doesn't leave any brush marks. or sponge marks. And this first coat, I try to go as liberal as possible. Make sure I get it on. Look at the different light angles, so make sure it'll be shiny. I use a satin. This is clear satin. Some people use a semi, and some people even use a full gloss. With the rustic feel and the burnt look, I don't like a glossy look. I might offer that later to clients that, I mean, everyone's different. Some clients may want a glossy look. So I may offer that in the future to people that have that taste. I myself like the satin, maybe a semi, but satin works with me. I feel like I should keep talking and keep you guys entertained, but there's really not much to this. And I don't really want to stop the camera while I'm in the middle of this. And I get some drippage when I go across. Just make sure you wipe it up. No big deal. This is a smooth edge, so I'll just wipe it across. No comments, please. Try not to get on my workbench here. I still haven't sealed it. Went up to Rockler today. They finally got some more intersections in. So I got the intersections and another piece of track so I can put my last track in. And then I will seal it. I'm still debating between polyurethane or shellac. Leaning towards the shellac because of dry time. I mean, this stuff says it dries faster than the 3 hours I mentioned, but I like to make sure it's really dry. And before I flip it over to the back, you know, I'll probably give it a good 6 hours of dry time or leave it overnight, depending on what time I do it. And definitely before I ship it out, it's got to be dry for at least a 12-hour period. I don't want it sticking to the packing material. Did I get this edge up here? Nope. So when you do the edges, it will, you know, you'll get little blobs here on the edge. Just go back over again, wiping right off the edge. Some dry spots there. May have already dried. There we go. Now, make sure I got this edge up here. I think I did. And this side here. Now, once I'm done with this coat, I'm going to set it aside to dry so I can work on other projects or the next flag. Got a couple more I need to get done here, getting ready for Christmas. I was going to use this thing as a drying rack. You saw it in previous videos. I had all my tools sit on there until I was able to throw them over here. But it's too small for the flags, so I'm going to have to think of something else. Right now it's just going to go in the other room to dry. That way I can still work on other projects and it won't get dusty. I might make the cubby over there a dry-in section once I get it cleaned out. But there we go. First coat on. I think it looks good. This stuff is water-based, so it's easy cleanup. I do clean the sponges after, or, you know, use them a couple times before throwing them out. But if I'm really lazy that day, you know, I get a bunch of them. They're pretty cheap. But it's water-based, so I'll wash it out. All right, there's the first coat. So, like I said, I'm gonna let it dry for a good 3 or 4 hours. It'll get another coat this afternoon. And then this evening, I should have enough time to put the decal on it and give it another coat, let it dry overnight, another coat tomorrow. It's Friday, so this thing will probably be ready to ship out on Monday. So, next clip, we'll do the decal and then finish it off with putting the mountain hardware on it. So, we'll see you in those next clips. Whoa, see ya. Okay, this is dried overnight after a coat. We got our vinyl decal here, fresh off the plotter. It's a bit nipply out here, so hopefully we can get this on without too much of an issue. And right there, so we're gonna peel off the back paper. Best to do it flat like this. I probably shouldn't have done that. Hold on. I wasn't thinking. It's kind of easier if you do it like this. You got a little wrinkle there now. Make sure it's straight. Kind of use the edge of the stars. Make sure they're parallel with the stripes. That should do it. Now I go like that and just run my straight edge across. And it smooths it right out. Now we can toss that. And I'm doing it with my squeegee here, but doing it on a surface like this wood, they make squeegees with a felt edge. That's better. I just don't happen to have one of those right now. So I'm gonna go across and rub pretty much with the grain. Giving some stars special individual treatment. And since my transfer tape is not quite all the way across the edge, I'm going to be careful I don't go off the edge here and scrape my wood. And you're probably going to have to do this while you're several times to make sure it sticks while you're peeling it up. So we're going to grab a corner here. Come on. All right, we got a corner here, and we're gonna slowly peel it back, going like at a 45 or a full 180, and some of it might come up, so use your fingers to push it back down. I want to get an edge here, and I can use the straight edge to help hold the stars down. So far, this one's working out pretty well. That's what the first 2 coats of the urethane really help give it something to grab to. If you do it quickly after rubbing it, it makes it a big deal as well. If you wait, we're going to just do another rub. The stars are starting to come up a little bit. But I can take the straight edge and I put it across the stars as I pull. There we go. Now I got a whole row here. First point sticking good. Place my straight edge down and pull off those stars. Good. Same thing. Now this one's starting to come up a little bit, so we're going to give it a little rub. straight edge down on the point and pull. Just pull gently, working it back and forth. Don't just like yank across. You just move your straight edge as you go to hold the stars down. But they're doing pretty good. I've seen a lot worse. That one just came up. My very first one, I actually did it without the urethane. I went directly to the wood. And that was a pain to get all the stars to stick. It's coming up a little bit. Yeah. Almost there. There we go. Now I usually will go around and rub each one with my finger, going kind of against the grain to kind of get it in there, into the grain. Make sure all the corner points are down, nothing's popping up. Oh, that one kind of popped up, there we go. And then, like I said, I'm going to set this aside for about an hour, give time for the adhesive to bond to the urethane there. And then I'll put another coat on, wait 4 or 5 hours, which probably don't need to do, but, oh, excuse me. But I just want to make sure it's really dry. This one has a little bubble there. If you get bubbles in there, you can push them out generally. Use your fingernail, push them out. If you have a weeding tool, which is a little point tool, you can pop the bubble slightly and push the air out. But yeah, those went on real well. So I'm going to set it aside to dry or bond, and then I'll do another coat. Meanwhile, back to cutting stripes. Got a couple more orders that came in last night, so gotta get them out for Christmas. So next clip, I'm not gonna show you the next 2 coats. It's just put on urethane like we did in the last clip. Next clip, I'm gonna go ahead and put the mounting bracket on, and that will be it. So one more clip to go. Hang tight. Alright guys, we're at the final step. Well, I've already completed the final steps. Since you really repeats of other things, I put a coat of the urethane on the back. I made 2 cleats, French cleats here, and mounted one with countersinks. I hope that's the top. Yep, on the top of the flag between the 2 posts here. And then, of course, the one that's going to go to the wall right there. And I bore out holes with the Fastener bit. So the, oh, what I still haven't done is drilled. I haven't drilled the holes. I'm lucky I caught that and didn't send it out. For the screws to go through. So let's go ahead and do that. And grab a screw drill. Let's see, is that going to be big enough? It's more than big enough. Let's get a little bit smaller. 1/4 inch, that sounds just about right. 1/4 inch, still too much, but Gives them some playroom. So I got this clamped to my bench with the track clamp, sacrificial piece of wood underneath so I don't drill into my nice bench. Right there in the center. Done with that. Double check and be sure, but I'm sure that's plenty and that's deep enough. So perfect. So I have a little baggie. I'll put the bolts and the anchors in for them. And I'll tape this to the back. And then it's just ship. I got new boxes in today. I don't think you need to see how boxing goes. It's just wrapping it with bubble wrap and sticking it in a box. That's it. There's the back and our front, all finished and ready to go. So that's the end of this video. I'm working on the next order here, which is at the decal stage. So as soon as I get this boxed up, I'll get the decal put in that one. So any comments, suggestions, questions, go ahead and put them down below. If you would like, I would appreciate it if you'd like the video and subscribe. We're getting close to that 5,000 mark. Once we hit the 5,000 mark of followers, we're gonna go ahead and do a giveaway for an item on my website. Not one of these, but it'll be enough for a t-shirt or a decal, whatever you want there. And I appreciate it if you subscribe. Click the little bell if you want to get an alert of any future videos we have. Are you seeing my head in there? I hope so. Again, appreciate it. And I hope you guys all have a great week. And those of you going to try this project, I'd like to see some of them. And below, send me a link with a photo to your creations. So, talk to you guys later. Have a great week.